Welcome to the J3 Collaboration Project. I'm your host, Jack Wilson, and today I have the privilege of speaking with Mary Livingston, co-chair of the Philadelphia chapter of SCORE. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you, Jack. It's so good to be here with you.
We go a long way back, so I
Yes,
feel real comfortable speaking with you, Mary. So
yes, we
let's
do.
help people understand SCORE.
hmm
So, what is SCORE? Who are their clients, and what services does SCORE provide?
Okay. So, SCORE was actually created by Congress in 1964 after they developed how uh, mentors can help support small businesses. They turned the administration over to the SBA, the Small Business Administration. So SCORE has been around since 1964, and our goal is to help to help foster small businesses and help them be able to have the resources and the tools, whether they're a startup or whether they're an existing business, be able to grow, and sustain their business. We do that by providing mentoring services at no charge as well as education. So, at our Philadelphia chapter, and I'll talk a little bit more about that a little later on, we host virtual workshops that are run every single month. We're really proud of our education curriculum.
That sounds awesome. I've had the privilege of being a part of the Philadelphia chapter of SCORE, and I know that the leadership, yourself included, you guys do a great job of taking care of the small businesses and those wanting to start small businesses in the area.
Yes.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about you, Mary. How long have you been with SCORE, and in what capacity are you serving now?
Wow, Jack, I go back with SCORE since 2006 when I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, though Philadelphia is my home. I had the opportunity to come back home, and for about 5 or 6 years, I helped to support the leadership with branding ourselves here in Philadelphia, with partnerships that we have created throughout the years, as well as workshops that we began to launch all throughout the city of Philadelphia. I've been chapter chair now for the past 6, 7 years, and recently was able to bring someone on to help me out. Thus, the title changed from chair to co chair, but have a wonderful person, Jack Musgrove, who is helping co chair this organization, Jack.
Yeah, so that's good to hear a little bit about you. Yes, you and Jack are doing a great job helping
Thank
small
you.
businesses in
Thank you.
the Philadelphia area. Now, you talked about clients coming in to SCORE to work with the mentors. What would
Yeah.
you say are some of the top requests for SCORE clients?
Well, it depends on the need. So we have a lot of pre startups, people who haven't started a business, who are thinking about that. When you think especially about the challenges that all of us as a community are experiencing right now, many people are starting to wonder, are there other options for me? So we get a number of calls from people who want to start a business and want to know, how do I start? How do I create a license? How do I get a license? Excuse me. Um, what are my next steps? How do I start? How do I even know who my customers are? How do I reach out to those customers? And leading them to becoming an existing business, all right, a startup for 1 or 2 years, and helping them with their value proposition, their business plan, their getting a better understanding of their financial understanding, their financial acumen, to what should be my marketing strategy? Should I be a storefront business, or should I actually be an e-commerce business? So we take them. Should I even franchise? Should I consider purchasing a franchise company? So we have a host of different concerns, different needs, whether they're a startup or whether an existing business. In fact, we're even launching an initiative where we're going to create a program to help existing businesses. And we're pretty excited about being able to better sustain existing businesses, Jack.
Wow, that sounds comprehensive and exciting. And I'd agree. I see clients coming in with all of those needs, including, one of the biggies, access to capital.
Yes,
That's always a
absolutely.
big one there too. And I've
Absolutely.
noticed, hmm yeah, and I've noticed that many of our clients may be really good at what they do
Hmm.
in their business, but the challenges they have may be around some of those areas that you mentioned in the operational part of the business, like you
Yes,
mentioned, with their business plan or marketing or something like that.
yes.
That's great to see that Score is helping there. Now, you mentioned something. You mentioned franchising. So, in all the years you've been with Score, how frequently do you see clients that are franchisees or someone considering becoming a franchisee?
Jack, I think that's a great question, because we as a chapter have very few clients coming to us to talk about franchise opportunities. Um, we are excited to have you as a mentor because we understand that is your background. And whenever we have a client who says, I would like to talk to someone about franchising, we have you, Jack, to be able to help support those businesses.
Oh, so kind of you to say that. Being the subject matter expert for franchising, I'm happy to do that in the Philadelphia chapter. And I've had the same experience though. Most of my clients as a Score mentor,
Hmm.
that has nothing to do with franchising. And it's interesting to note that franchising is alive and well in the Philadelphia area. And just a few points to kind of sound down that statement there. Local franchise businesses provide over 10,000 jobs in the Philadelphia area with $1.1 billion in economic output.
Hmm.
There's 1,000 franchisees approximately that pay out $500 million in payroll in Philadelphia. And our local franchise businesses add 700 million to the Pennsylvania GDP.
Yeah.
So, franchising's all around us. But one reason that we don't get so many franchises
Hmm.
or people who own franchises already, it's because that's what the franchisors do. They support those franchisees in the area where maybe the person's really not strong. They may be strong at sales and marketing, but they really don't understand financials or operations. That's what the franchisor helps them with. Just like we help an independent business with the areas where they have weaknesses.
That's right.
Now, I mentioned franchising, and so did you. There's an entity called the International Franchise Association, and they all across the country they represent over 740,000 franchise businesses that employ 7.5 million Americans. So whether it's here in the Philadelphia area or anywhere in the country, franchising is providing a viable means of business ownership, and
Yeah.
it's supplying jobs in these cities, which is great. And speaking of those guys, and I know you and I talked about this earlier this year during the nationwide Open for Opportunity Roadshow.
Yeah.
The International Franchise Association, or IFA, they visited right here in Philadelphia. And their guests included our mayor, former congressmen, business leaders, local franchise owners, and
Hmm.
the leadership of various chambers of commerce. And
Yes.
although their goal was really on forging relationships with business and political leadership, that was probably a main objective, but they also wanted to increase awareness and visibility of franchising.
Hmm.
The event was also intended to educate the attendees about franchising, its impact in the business community, and the opportunity for people to realize their dream of business ownership through franchising. And surprisingly, many of the those in attendance, including the chambers and the other business organizations, had little knowledge, little resources, and little few programs on the topic of franchising.
Yes.
So that brings a question to you then, Mary. How can the Philadelphia chapter of SCORE assist those organizations and their clients who want to better understand franchising and help their members who inquire about it?
Well, Jack, I remember that event. I remember how powerful it was. And I remember how many people were impacted as a result of attending that. And franchising is another opportunity for anyone who wants to consider entrepreneurship or starting a business. And there's so much support that's given to them from, for instance, the International Franchise Association, or from the Chamber of Commerce's, or from some of the micro lenders that help to provide access to capital, as well as banks. And those partnerships are really important because all of us collectively can help assist people who want to start a franchise. Within our own chapter, we do have certified mentors who can really help franchisors be able to go down the path that they need to go in order to be a successful franchiser. But we also have workshops, we do have subject matter experts, we have webinars, and not just Philadelphia webinars. Remember, Jack, I mentioned to you that SCORE was created by Congress. The intent of it was to make it an international, excuse me, a national organization.
Mhm.
And SCORE now has over 360 chapters throughout the country. And we are working towards becoming a one SCORE organization. Yes, we do have chapters, for instance, in Philadelphia, Bucks County, Delaware, Chester County, um, over on the Harrisburg side of the state, up in Pottstown. But we're not restricted to providing services just to Philadelphia market. So anyone can go to our website, which is score.org, to be able to look at all of the different mentors, all the different certified mentors, to see what skills they have that can help assist them based on their needs. So we have webinars as well that are put on not just by Philadelphia, but by chapters throughout the United States. So there is a plethora of education. And if you go to philadelphia.score.org, we have a plethora of resources as well that can help the franchiser be able to become as successful as they'd like to be, stepping into this world of entrepreneurship and starting a business. And if you do want to reach out to a SCORE mentor, all you have to do is go to score.org. Say you'll see a folder at the top of the page that says find a mentor. You click that, put in your application, and it'll drive you to the workshop that is based on your zip code. However, you're just not restricted to the Philadelphia market. You can look for any mentor. So someone in California, Jack, may see that you are a franchiser and say, Jack Wilson is who I want to talk to. And they can establish a relationship with you, even from California or as far as Oregon as well. If you want to call our chapter, though, our phone number is 215-231-9880. We're here to help assist small businesses. Um, really would like to help the franchise world, understand how we can help assist them as well.
Well, that's awesome. Well, there you have it. You have contact information you just got from Mary. So, whether you're an organization who maybe just don't know a lot about franchising, but you have members who are interested, or maybe you want to do a workshop, as Mary mentioned, partnerships are critical. Reach out
Mhm.
to SCORE if you're an organization, whether you're a chamber of commerce or whether you're some other organization to help small businesses. Reach out to Mary here at the Philadelphia chapter of
Yes.
SCORE,
Score.
or if you're in some other state, do the same. Just reach out to the local chapter of SCORE, and they can help you to really understand and get the resources you need to help people explore franchising. Because remember, some clients we get at SCORE, they're just more focused on starting a viable business, maybe, than just a specific idea they have. they're
Right.
in a great position to really explore the pros and cons. Do I want to do an independent business? What's the pros and cons there? Do I want to do a franchise? What are the pros and cons there? They're in a perfect position. And SCORE chapters, as Mary mentioned, around the country and here in Philadelphia, many do have a franchise subject matter expert who can help a client really go through that exploration
Yes,
process.
yes, yes, yes.
So, Mary, I really appreciated you being here today. It's clear whether a person has an existing business, whether they're trying to start a business, whether it's an independent business they're thinking of or have, or a franchise business that they're thinking of or currently have. SCORE can assist them. The certified business mentors there are certainly a valuable resources that come free of charge, along with a plethora of other resources that our clients could get from SCORE. So, Mary, I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Any final words before we call it an end?
I just want to thank you, Jack, for this opportunity to get the word out to potential small business owners, whether, as you said, they're an independent small business owner or they want to have the support through franchise, because SCORE is a valuable resource to them. We have thousands of members throughout the United States. It is as you mentioned, a free resource. All right, we are all volunteers, and our goal is to help foster small businesses everywhere within the country. So, Jack, thank you for this opportunity to allow us to get the word out about how SCORE can help support small entrepreneurs.
Thank you very much, Mary, and you're
Mm.
very welcome. It was my privilege to be able to have this discussion with you.
Okay, thank you.
So, for everyone else, thanks for joining us at the J3 Collaboration Project. I'm your host, Jack Wilson. Until next time.